What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode. Thank you for clicking on this video. I really do appreciate it very, very much. On this particular episode, I went out with a good friend of mine and we set up a trap. Trapping is something that I've never done on this channel before. I've done it, but I did it whenever I was much younger, early high school, and I never did any filming. It was before my times of YouTube, and you know, it's something that I enjoy, but I guess I never really did it because I love to bow hunt so much, and I love to bow hunt hogs. This particular property that we were on had an issue, and what I mean by an issue is that there were obviously too many, and the deer, they would come in and they'd kind of do their thing, but they wouldn't do it every day. They wouldn't stick around like normal. Years prior, the deer were on feeders all the time, and up until recently on this piece of particular property, there was no hogs, and then out of nowhere they're just covered up. And so we wanted to do our best, and we did our best by getting a Voorhees Outdoor Products gate, and I'm hoping that I'm saying that correctly. But another good friend of mine who runs a business here in Central Texas, not far from me where I'm located, he's got a company and they build gates and traps. They do custom metal art, different sorts of metal coating, any sort of metal fabrication basically. And I'll leave the link down in the description below, and you guys can go check out the website. You guys can go check out the Facebook page. I highly encourage you to follow the Facebook page. Go check out Voorhees Outdoor Products. They gave me the gate and 3 panels, and bam, we took off and went and set it up. It was a lot of fun, except for the fact that we had to take a masonry bit and a hammer drill and drill through the rock to get our T-post drove, and that way we could set up our trap around it. Now, I kind of want to talk about this for just a second before we get into actual trapping itself. We had 3 16-foot panels that were probably about 3 foot tall. And that's okay most of the time for one sow and some piglets, or a couple of sows and some smaller piglets. But we were getting trail camera pictures and we were watching this particular group, and we were like, it's probably going to be safe. Better safe than sorry to go ahead and just add another set of panels across the top, and that's what we did. And I'm really glad that we did now, because I'm pretty sure I captured some footage and some clips of where those hogs, they were piling up on top of each other, which they have a tendency to do inside of traps, but they were piling up on top of each other so much that if they wanted to and there was just one panel there, they could have slipped right over the top without any issues. And so I'm really glad that we went ahead and added that top row, and it really saved us. With all that being said, I want to get into this video because this is the first trapping video that I've done on this channel, and I'm very excited about it. I hope that you guys really do enjoy it. I hope that you'll subscribe to the channel. I hope that you'll leave me a thumbs up if you do enjoy the hog trapping videos, because I do plan on and intend on doing more of these. And if you did enjoy it, share it with your friends and family, share it to your social media. Just hit that share button right there and send it however you see fit, and let's get right into this. They're all in. Got it. There's one at the gate. Got it now. Give me 1 second. There's one fixing to go in. There's one right there to the left, and there's one that just went in. There's one right there to the left. He's big. So you're probably wondering how in the world we managed to sneak up there and capture that gate being dropped at just the right time that it did. What we ended up doing was I took one of my cell cams and I put it up in the tree and I had it facing our hog trap. And William and I, we sat around for a couple hours waiting on these pigs to show up. We waited and we waited and we waited. Finally get a trail camera picture. Well, whenever we first started this whole endeavor, we just took baling wire and wired all 3 of our gates up. This is the style of gate that the hogs can push in. They can push in one portion of the gate at a time. And once they get inside, they can't get back out. So we wired all 3 doors open, or all 3 gates open at once. And then when we were ready to set the trap, we took some jet line, tied it off to all 3 gates, and then we took that jet line and we took it, I don't know, I'd say probably 50 yards away from the trap, over the top of the panels, and tied it off in a tree. It's not exactly the best way, I would say, to use this particular trap, but with the results that we had, I would say it worked pretty dang good. Most of the time you're supposed to set up a tripwire inside. You can have your little pressure plate. There's a gazillion different styles and ways that you can set these traps up to work for you. It just depends on what your application is, how many hogs you have, the kind of time that you have on your hands, if the hogs are showing up in the middle of the night, etc., so on and so forth. There's a million different reasons, but this particular setup worked best for us. So we took jet line and we tied it off to all 3 of our gates, which you guys, I'm sure at this point in time in the video, have seen, and we pulled it as tight as we could and tied it off into a tree. And once my cell cam started sending me pictures, we left the house, walked all the way down to where the trap was set up around the feeder, and I got my camera in position. And after we watched all these hogs get in, there was a spotted one that left, and there were 2 on the outsides. Those 2 on the outsides were fairly large hogs. I assumed that they were older, and obviously that makes them more wise in most cases. And obviously, they were pretty wise. They didn't want to get inside of the trap, which is okay. We've got it set up and running back again right now in preparation for a second group that's been coming in. But we snuck up, and with a little bit of communication between William and I, we were like, all right, that's all the hogs that are going to get in there. They're going to run out of corn if we don't go ahead and set it off now, and we're going to lose more than we're going to catch. So with all of them, all 15 of them piled in there, bam, cut the line, dropped the gates on them. They had no idea what happened. And what makes this really hilarious and really kind of cool was that me and William, we stayed quiet after we set the trap off. Because I told him, I was like, hey, those 2 pigs that were on the outside of the trap, they scattered, and there was still corn sitting around. I told William, I was like, they may come back. They may hang out for a minute. So we're sitting there and hanging out, and I don't know, probably 2 or 3 minutes goes by, and sure enough, one comes back by. And next thing you know, that hog's right there in front of us, not 30 yards. And he pulls up the shotgun and lets it fly. We did look for that hog today in the daylight. Unfortunately, we did not recover it. But that's okay. I think that it's probably still alive. He was shooting some buckshot. And you know what? I think that pig will be around for a second round of trapping, and maybe we'll get him then. But until that time comes around, there is a couple of sows and a bunch of real small piglets that we're going after. And another thing, I wanted to show you guys some footage. This was a start to finish style of video. This isn't something that you see on YouTube very often. Nobody ever really shows the setting up of hog traps, the baiting, the setting off of the trap, and then what goes on afterwards. So we trapped all these hogs, or let me back up. We set the trap up. I showed that portion to you guys. We trapped the hogs, and then we took them to a local seller and sold them. And it was really a neat experience from start to finish. Some pretty good hard work in there, but totally worth it in the end. But what I'm getting at here, and I know that I mentioned it some in some of the clips that you guys have been seeing, but we took these hogs and sold them, and they're going to be shipped to Europe. All these hogs will be sent to a packing plant, basically a meat plant, and then from there they will be somewhat processed or mostly processed, and then they'll be shipped to Europe, and all the meat's going to be used. That's the great thing about it. Meat's going to Europe. We got paid. We had a great time and a lot of fun, and I really appreciate you guys watching. And if you did enjoy it and you're still watching at this point in time in the video, I very much so appreciate it. And if you want to see more trapping videos, drop a comment down below and let me know. And I'm looking for the feedback from you guys right now, because this is the first hog trapping video that I've ever done, and I'm ate up with it. As much as I love to shoot them with a bow, I love to trap them too, especially in the style that we did. It's just an adrenaline rush. It's a big blast. So let me know, drop a comment down below, and we'll continue it if you guys liked it. We ended up having one hog escape, so we ended up with a total of 14 hogs, and they were all, with the exception of 2, they were all 70 to 190 pounds. There's one big sow in there. She went 190. Good times all around. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate the support from all of you. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the notifications bell right there next to it so you don't miss out on a single thing. You guys are amazing, and I'll catch you in just a couple days.